Today we are checking out Grand Central Train Station and Gale of Time Flat Ride by FinesseSingh, who submitted via our submission form. So sit back and enjoy this cinematic preview of both of these amazing builds, and then we will get to the walkthrough and dig into some of the details.
To swim against, put me down upon my knees. Oh, I beg and plead, singing, come out of things unsaid. Shouldn't I pull off my head? And a trouble that can't be named, a tiger's waiting to be tamed, singing.
Getting into this build, I really do love both of these items, but they really wouldn't make a complete spotlight on their own, particularly this swing ride, which we're going to get to in a nighttime setting after we've toured Grand Central Terminal over here. So this is actually called Grand Terminus Station. Slurred my words there. So this incredible build, I really love this. All right, the wraparound effect of this building is nice because it covers over top of two different pathways. I've taken some creative liberties when it comes to like painting the edges of the terrain and putting in some foliage and stuff. That flat ride is not part of this, but I kind of it's part of the spotlight, but I included it in this plaza just to give it some life. And you're actually, fun fact, you're actually at the back of Butterfly Gardens Park right now. So if you do see any custom media screens and they look like something should be on them, which I don't think is the case out here, I think these are used as windows, but even so, they wouldn't have anything on them right now. I don't put custom media on, it's too much of a pain in the neck. Unless it really impacts the build itself, which in this case it's not the case. I'm showing off the build and not the custom media. So we have this awesome cute little sign out here: Grand Terminus, Steam Lake, Frozen Ridge, Whispering Pines, all of which are on time, and the train arrival times are fairly close. That's a good system. And I love up here too the wraparound that is up here. And again, it really doesn't lead to anywhere, but it does show off the architectural details, the corners, and the edges and stuff like that, which a lot of people, even myself, when I build in the game, I don't bother with those things on the back of buildings. But yeah, Finesse has done a great job here. I hope you don't mind if I call you Finesse. But yeah, this is great. The front entrance, it's pretty basic, but it's also detailed, which is really cool. It's not overwhelming in things, but look at this shot right here. Isn't that great? Man, the clock tower poking up over the edge of the building, and then the sign above the window, the detailing of the window itself is really cool, the big window. And then those corner windows, those angles, but there I swing my camera real wide for you, just to cause motion sickness, I guess. But I think what I was doing there was taking a screenshot. But yeah, look at this. From the Toy Box pack, this little animated guy, which is better than the NPC characters they have in the game, I have to admit. I think they have more life to them, which is crazy because they look like Lego minifigures. But they are just, I don't know, they're awesome. Here we are, the ceiling is just so grand and tall and well put. It actually reminds me of a church I grew up in, the way the ceiling was in it. And I didn't grow up in a church. I'm not like some orphan with a really cool story. No, I church I went to as a kid. Yeah, here's one of these signs that I believe probably had a park map or maybe a map of the train route. And then there's some custom media that was probably behind your own like ticket prices and stuff like that. It's okay though. It does not take away from the building. I love that he's used the information booths here. And of course, one of these little minifigs, these little toy box people. So interesting. They really add so much life. And look at this bench. Look at this bench. I love that. I don't know if the bench itself is resurfaced, but I think it is. And then those pillows are added. And then these lockers and the detailing on this locker control thing. That is just so cool. Like really, it's awesome. The scale tool for Planet Coaster 2 has done amazing things. And then of this lighting fixture, like this lighting pattern up here is really awesome too, that star. And a planter box in the corner here. And another sign with all the train departures. The clock up there and stuff in the platform. We'll be getting up to the platform in just a moment. Yeah, there's trains sitting up there. It's not connected anywhere in the park, but it is sitting there. And then we have the platform refresh counter, which is just a neat little thing. Latte Love. I love the sound effects from Latte Love. It's my favorite, one of my favorite things in the game. And then of course, Soda Delightful, which I struggle to say. And these tables, look at these tables with the benches. Look at this, with the little pillows and then the centerpiece and the fringe around it with the tablecloth. I love this. The floor is shiny. This just screams retro, but well kept. I fully expected to smell almost like fresh mulch and then like a mall did. You know, like a little, like maybe a little bit like disinfectant for the floor and then like a fragrance, you know, because they all have like a signature fragrance. Look at this. One of these little minifig people. Up here, keeping guard, enter, check departure times, obviously, before you enter. And then a window overlooking the back. Like I said, didn't connect the track anywhere. This is not of my park. This isn't my train or my station. So I didn't really feel the right to use it, but we'll go through the queue line. Yeah, this is awesome. And there it is. There's the train connected and the station goes way back here. I actually tried to walk back here because I briefly forgot. You can't walk on surfaces even if they look like you should be able to, unless you add some pathing underneath it. But maybe that's something they'll change in the future. You'll be able to walk on surfaces that are level with where you're at. It'd be cool. Because, I mean, the objects in the game do have a hitbox. Obviously. You know, because you can turn on no clip, but the buildings don't, which is kind of weird. But I digress. Let's switch to nighttime. We're going to go out here and check out, of course, Galle of Time, which is a flat ride. Now, this is a far shorter section of the spotlight itself. It's only a few minutes long, and mainly because it's around a minute or two, because this can be shown off really fast because it's a small ride. But I wanted to include it in this because I'm going to give it a fair representation. It is such a detailed build. It really is neat. But Finesse did point out that it needs to be done at nighttime and stuff like that. So that's why we had to transition to night. And the birds flying around. Look at that. Look at that shot. That is just so awesome with the moonlight and stuff. Here it is in cinematic mode. This ride is so cool. It really would be the perfect complement to a park and to have it in place, especially like a Halloween section or a Gothic section, maybe a steampunk park even. You could add some gears and stuff to this and really make it a cool thing. But yeah, there it was. Here's a great still shot of it. Grand Terminus by FinesseSingh. I think this is a wonderful build. These are two fantastic items. And Finesse is well worth checking out on YouTube. So see you next time.